Coming up, a campus resource offered to and funded by students. Plus, learn a fun and easy way to earn community service hours. This is Central News.
From the broadcast studio in the Department of Mass Communication at North Carolina Central University, this is Central News.
I'm Shadeja Pittman, and thank you for tuning in. Writers of all levels are welcome and encouraged to come by the writing studio. Zenobia dived more into the story.
Located in room 102 of the Taylor Ed building, the Writing Studio's goal is to support students' learning through one-on-one sessions and group sessions. The Writing Studio can be an asset to you and your grades. Your work will be closely critiqued and ways to improve will be offered to you. The studio isn't just for written assignments. They review resumes, cover letters, etc.
9 times out of 10, your teacher sent you here because you can improve where you're at. And it does not mean you're not a good writer. Even the best writers need revision and proofreading.
Some students have not used the studio, even though it is heavily pushed by professors in the classroom.
Being a senior, I think I want to end my final year with a bang, so to get the best effect and the best grades, I think I'm going to use the writing studio.
Also part of the writing studio is the speaking studio. The speaking studio is a part of Central's quality enhancement plan. The speaking studio aims to increase the students' written and oral communication. Writing consultants can be your peers. Writing is their forte and they want to share that with others. Students who have used the writing studio say that after their first visit, they kept going back.
I use the writing studio quite often. With my majors, we're consistently having to write papers, so it's nice just to go over there and have somebody read over your stuff.
The writing studio is a great campus resource, pushing written communication and verbal. Reporting for Central News, Zenobia Dowdy.
I'm sure students will utilize that campus resource. Thanks, Zenobia. Are you looking for a fun and easy way to gain community service hours? The Women's Center is providing that by having a social media challenge. Earning community service hours couldn't be so easy. The Women's Center is challenging students to post a photo or video of themselves wearing purple to support Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Students must hashtag NCCU Purple Week and show us your purple, and also tag the Women's Center on Instagram at NCCU Women's Center and Twitter at Women's Center _. You must list one fact about domestic violence and cite a credible source. Then screenshot and email your post to both Ms. Amber Esters and Eric Martin. Students must include Purple Week Challenge in their email subject line and include their first and last name in the body of the email. Be sure to submit your post no later than October 19th at 5 p.m. Let's look into how students are staying safe after 2 major shootings. Esther has more on the story.
Thank you. Attending HBCUs are very important to many students, especially first-generation college students. HBCUs provide the opportunity of low tuition costs and the experience of the Black culture. Although many campuses have been surrounded by crime and violence, many students still find pride in attending HBCUs. While students, staff, and alumni were watching NCCU's first home game at the O'Kelly Riddick Stadium, there was a fatal shootout in the Latham parking deck across the street. 2 young men were found dead, and 2 days later, police returned for another shooting in a home just across from the Ferris and Newton Communications Building. I had a chance to speak with the Chief of Police Williams on keeping HBCU campuses safe.
Well, there is an HBCU Executive Law Enforcement Association. We talk frequently about things that we can do to improve all of our HBCUs.
According to yourlocalsecurity.com, NCCU is the safest college campus in the state of North Carolina. NCCU police have been doing their best in making sure that the campus is safe for all students and staff.
We work with the city of Durham to expand our jurisdiction around our university. So we're going to start working with our neighborhoods to patrol.
Residents of the neighborhood love the presence of the HBCU. Some are alumni who have never left the area and are still proud to call NCCU their HBCU. I spoke to Tamekia Patrick, an alumni who moved back into the neighborhood.
I feel more safer here because I actually see Central patrolling on a regular basis. They come through probably once an hour.
If you are concerned about campus safety, please join Chief Police Williams and the Dean of Students on October 27th at 7:30 p.m. for a safety walk. They will be at the AE Student Union. There will be a max of 20 students that can attend. And please remember to wear your mask and to stay 6 feet apart during the walk. I'm here at the North Carolina Central University campus neighborhood. Esther Valley, reporting for Central News.
Please continue to stay safe. Thank you, Esther. NCCU is devoted to embracing all students. Let's see what Rebecca found on the story.
In 2018, a section of a residential hall was inclusive for members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Now, Kaleidoscope is reestablishing and accepting students to live in this safe space community. Kaleidoscope is in the process of reestablishing gender-inclusive housing for students who are part of the LGBTQIA+ community. Held in the wing of one of the residential halls, Kaleidoscope hopes to provide at least 20 students a safe community to live in. The idea behind this housing is supportive of creating a more inclusive campus climate while increasing the retention of members of the LGBTQIA+ community.
We really just want students to have a support network and to understand that there are other LGBTQ folks on campus and that they can have a safe space to be.
The safety of students in their housing assignments with respect to their gender identity and expression is vital to a loved college experience for all. As far as students, many are excited about this close-knit community.
It's important to have a safe space where you live, where you work, where you go to school. We have the center, so like a few things we can change is, where we live, to have that sense of community again, to feel like we're safe.
Kaleidoscope will also give students the opportunity to meet other members of the community. Kaleidoscope is not necessarily for everybody who identifies with the community because all students are free to live anywhere on campus. It is simply an opportunity for students who would like to live in a designated area with members of the LGBTQIA+ community to do so.
Living space is really intimate, and when you don't identify with the person that you're rooming with or have, an understanding of the differences between you, then it's difficult to live with them and you may not feel safe. So this helps a lot.
Kaleidoscope is hoping to be available to students by spring 2022. For more information, you can visit the LGBTA Resource Center on the ground floor of the Student Union. I'm Rebecca Smith, reporting for Central News.
And to understand that there are other LGBTQ folks on campus and that they can have a safe space to be.
The safety of students in their housing assignments with respect to their gender identity and expression is vital to a loved college experience for all. As far as students, many are excited about this close-knit community.
It's important to have a safe space where you live, where you work, where you go to school. We have the center, so like a few things we can change is, where we live, to have that sense of community again, to feel like we're safe.
Kaleidoscope will also give students the opportunity to meet other members of the community. Kaleidoscope is not necessarily for everybody who identifies with the community because all students are free to live anywhere on campus. It is simply an opportunity for students who would like to live in a designated area with members of the LGBTQIA+ community to do so.
Living space is really intimate, and when you don't identify with the person that you're rooming with or have, an understanding of the differences between you, then it's difficult to live with them and you may not feel safe. So this helps a lot.
Kaleidoscope is hoping to be available to students by spring 2022. For more information, you can visit the LGBTA Resource Center on the ground floor of the Student Union. I'm Rebecca Smith, reporting for Central News.
You can visit the LGBTQ+ Resource Center for more information. Thank you, Rebecca. Live entertainment is making its way back to campus. Brandon goes more into depth on the story.
Thank you. The music is back on campus. Students from the Department of Music and Dance will provide live performances once again during the month of October.
Well, last year we weren't in a position where we could really do performances. Everything was virtual, but what I found that our university choir needed to do was they really needed to sing together in person. So we figured out how to do that safely down in the recital hall in the C. Ruth Edwards Music Building. We had shorter rehearsals, we had smaller groups, we were in a hybrid situation. And when it came time for performance, we recorded. And that was helpful just for them to be able to come into the room and sing together.
The spread of COVID has had an impact on almost all aspects of life. Naturally, one of the worst affected by it was the music and dance industries. School was shut down and classes were on Zoom, but now with restrictions lifting, they are finally coming back this October.
Man, being back in person is great, man, you know. Seeing all the old cats again, man, you know, getting back on the music stand and, you know, performing live again, you know, with people and everything. So it's pretty cool versus, you know, when we was off campus, you know, you was in your room just sharing by yourself, but now you can share amongst other musicians and get better in that.
NCCU's University Choir members sung a special rendition of Over My Head I Hear Music in the Air last Friday. NCCU's dance program, however, will perform Memory is a Ritual, a Remembrance of Ourself, October 9th. The performance will take place at 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 3 p.m. in the Greek Bowl.
As people take recording for granted, but there's a lot that goes into making a really quality recording. And some of those recordings are on YouTube. And this year, to be able to be in person and have the response of an audience, especially outdoors at night under the stars, it was a perfect night. It was a wonderful experience.
Now that classes and events are no longer over Zoom, it's starting to feel like the music is finally back on campus. Reporting for Central News, Brandon Johnson.
I'm pretty sure students are looking forward to more events. Thank you, Brandon. Money helps our economy thrive, but in the future, could it be our downfall? Naki Martin checked more into the story.
Thank you. I heard third time's a charm. Well, let's try number 15. Money helps our economy thrive, but in the very near future, could it be our downfall? The U.S. Secretary Janet Yellen warned lawmakers that the federal government will run out of cash by October 18th unless the Congress raised the debt ceiling. I spoke with Dr. Henry McCoy about the matter at hand.
If we were to get to October 18th and we haven't raised the debt ceiling, then basically the government would default. So it's almost like as an individual, imagine that you owe a creditor and you get to the point where you owe that bill and you don't have the money to pay it at that time, then you go into default.
We know how this situation can affect the government, but not only will it affect them, it would affect everyday civilians. If the U.S. run out of money, buying a home, car, or credit card borrowing could get more expensive. Stock prices could sink, threatening companies' bottom line. A default could trigger a recession, meaning job losses and income disruption for millions.
Yes, I'm aware of the potential shutdown of October 18th of this year, and I feel that it would affect many Americans, even our seniors, and their Social Security checks could be delayed. Unemployment would absolutely rise, and there would be an effect even on those receiving the child tax credit.
Even if the debt ceiling is raised in time, Americans could still feel the financial pain. Americans are looking to back up finances and create emergency savings by cutting out optional spending in order to free up some cash. You heard it here first. Reporting for Central News, Naki Martin.
Make sure you stay on top of your wallet. Thanks, Naki. This has been Central News. Make sure you tune in next Friday at 12. And Eagles, remember to keep soaring.